Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lift, Lighten, and Lead with Legacy Contracts. Whether this is your first time listening or you're returning for more, we're very glad you're here. This space on this platform is for attorneys who want more than just efficiency. You're looking for clarity, purpose, lasting impact in the way that you practice law, serve your clients, and lead your firm. Our mission for this platform is to lift the burden, lighten the load, and help you lead with clarity. Through practical insights, thoughtful guidance, and honest conversations, we explore what it truly takes to build not just a better firm, but a better way to work. If that's the kind of growth that you're seeking, you're in the right place. So today's concept, we're going to go behind the scenes of our recent blog titled The Myth of Urgency, Slowing Down to Strengthen Your Strategy. So I kind of want to talk about the urgency that doesn't really serve you, the kind that makes you feel like you're rushing, you're not rushing, you're falling behind, you're not falling behind. Because for a lot of attorneys, that feeling isn't really just about time, but it's also about identity. So I kind of want to take a moment to question the myth that, moving faster really means that you're moving forward. Because a lot of the times that's, not the case. A lot of people can be going around the mulberry bush thinking that they're doing a lot of things to move them forward when quite literally they're just, going around in circles. So referencing this, working with attorneys over the last 12 years, I've seen a lot of different people within their practices really try to do a lot up front, and it really ends up, biting them in the ass with not just their clients, but also, with their paperwork, with their employees that they have, even with, the judges, the court secretaries, just getting them in trouble really across the board. There was one attorney that I worked with, and every single email that she had was like, a fire that needed to be put out. Every client call was an emergency. Every time, we got like a rejection from a court clerk, it was everything needed to be put on pause. And, it honestly just felt like it was a threat, and I think just observing her, I think, she kind of felt like if she stopped even for a second, that everything would just kind of crumble and fall apart. So I kind of had to sit down and really talk about, that, her level of urgency wasn't really coming from a place of feeling productive. It was just really mimicking the fires that she was trying to put out. So we really had to take the process from the beginning and kind of unearth a lot of her sense of urgency, really see where the initial fire was coming from, because she was not only not doing herself justice and really burning herself out, but she was causing a lot of chaos with a lot of people within her law firm, and then her clients essentially were, really feeling this fire and this passion. So when we finally were able to really talk about everything, get her to slow down, everything really kind of came into proper vision for her. She was able to review all of her systems and her priorities, and realizing that she kind of had just been rushing and didn't really move a lot of her clients forward. It just was something that, kept her busy, which is fine. But, being busy kind of needs to come from that foundation of moving forward and being productive as well. So really, recognizing the danger of urgency, kind of convinces, a lot of people that stillness equals failure, when, in actuality, it's quite the opposite. So really presenting, or I guess taking the time to wanting to present a question really to the audience is like, when was the last time that you acted quickly, but not really because of necessity, but because slowing down felt unsafe to you? And really just recognizing, or even just thinking about where that notion comes from. What were the examples, either within your law firm or just in life in general, where that was the truth for you? So at Legacy, we've talked a lot with all of our clients really about lifting a lot of the burdens, and the sense of urgency has been one of the heaviest ones that we've seen a lot of attorneys carry, because it disguises itself as excellence, but underneath, the truth of the matter is it's exhaustion, burnout, scarcity mindset, fear. And we really had to talk to and kind of essentially convince a lot of people that, slowing down isn't losing your edge, really. It's allowing you to take a second to sharpen your aim, to, go back to the drawing board, to really see where a lot of the gaps and the loopholes and a lot of the frustrations with not just your clients, but your employees as well, are coming from. So when you, take that second to lighten your load, and, you get a chance to pause and even delegate a lot of the things that may have been on your plate, you are choosing not to react, but you make room for clarity. And clarity essentially is where leadership can kind of sound very calm, and it stops you from essentially shouting with all of the urgency. So keeping this in mind, anytime that you kind of feel like you're rushing or you're going too far into the future with, thinking about the things that you need to do and all the tasks that you have that are piling up, really try to take a second and just ask yourself, what is the cost of you speeding through what you're trying to do? So in our blog, something that we talk about is called the strategic pause. So it gives you 3 steps essentially that can help you to slow down in real time, to process things and really be intentional, not as avoidance, but more so as alignment. So it starts with the question of, what outcome am I protecting by rushing? And you are able to really take a step back and look at, are you doing this from a place of fear? And if so, what are you trying to avoid? What is it within you that you're trying to protect by speeding through or rushing through all of the tasks and your to-do list that you have? So if you take a second to really answer this question honestly, you can start to see where your urgency is actually masking itself as uncertainty. So you'll be able to kind of find that in the full framework, along with, any of the reflection prompts and things that we'll list in the show notes for you, you'll be able to have a really, really good starting point to really unearth a lot of things that you may have been either actively avoiding consciously or unconsciously. So the next step essentially is to give yourself permission to observe yourself at your own pace. Strategies, even the strongest ones, aren't built on urgency. They're built from awareness. So being aware of what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, and to what speed are you going through is a really, really good place to be able to self-reflect for the betterment of not just your own law firm and how you practice, but also for your clients as well. So every system, whether you are an attorney who owns their own law firm, or you work for another law firm, or you're in law school trying to become an attorney, every single system needs some kind of momentum. But that momentum without direction literally just burns fuel. So the next time that you feel some kind of push to rush, just remember that your clarity is your strategy. So lifting the burden literally starts with believing that you are allowed to move with intentions. If today's concept resonated with you, you can read the full blog titled The Myth of Urgency, Slowing Down to Strengthen Your Strategy, or watch the YouTube version of the blog, both of which expand on this theme from different angles, providing additional insight. We hope today's insights help you practice with more calm, confidence, and clarity. Here on this podcast, we'll delve deeper, exploring the concepts, culture, and practices that help you build clarity through calm. Remember, law firms aren't built overnight. They're built every day you choose to grow. This is Legacy Contracts, and until next time, keep leading with clarity.